Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasha. Today I'm going to try my best to do a dance analysis to Xikers' new comeback, We Don't Stop. I did watch the music video in K-pop Comeback Catch-Up episode 11, so you can check that out over on my channel. K-pop Comeback Catch-Up episode series are the easiest way for me to keep up with the numerous K-pop comebacks that happen all the time, and instead of trying to react to one individual comeback, I can just sort of do them all at once. And then if I see something and it sparks my interest more than some of the others, or I think it's a style I can discuss in more detail, then I will decide to do a separate video about it like we're doing today. So hopefully we'll be able to do a dance analysis for this song. I am currently recovering from having surgery, so my brain is not running at 100% because I'm still dealing with healing and pain and staying awake for long periods of time, so I can't promise to have the best commentary you've ever heard about this topic, but I loved the song. I really liked the music video, and it made me so curious about this choreography. So I think what I have pulled up is the performance version of the music video and then the dance practice itself. We would probably watch the dance practice a few times through so I can take my notes and just get a general understanding of the choreography. And then I will give you my thoughts all succinctly at the very, very end. I think we should just get started. Before we do, a few housekeeping notes to say. I'm having trouble with words already, so that's a good start for me. I am wearing a Two Crow Collective shirt. This is the Helm of Affliction shirt. I am a brand ambassador for them. They are a chronic illness and mental illness merchandise brand. My code is listed in my description below if you wanted a discount on your purchase. If you use my code or my link, I would also earn a small commission. I do have a few other affiliate links in my description if you want to look around other places as well. I also have an Etsy shop where I sell K-pop inspired merchandise, bookmarks, all sorts of things. Xikers isn't on my Etsy shop yet because I haven't learned all of their names still. I'm so frustrated with myself. Trust and believe. I'm trying to get better about learning names of groups that I'm covering, and Xikers is solidly on the list because I continue to watch all of their comebacks. I continue to be really excited about them. So soon enough, I will know all of their names, and that will make the whole process of me giving analysis and all these things so much easier. And just overall, it's good to know the names of people I'm covering. I think. That's my opinion. I also have a second book channel where I talk about book things, book reviews, book hauls, books I'm intimidated by, tips for reading, all sorts of stuff. So if you are both a K-pop lover and a book lover, please be sure to check out that brand new channel. We are up to 8 subscribers, which is a huge jump because we were sitting at 6 for like the whole first month. So I'm so excited to have a few new people every now and again finding it and deciding to subscribe. So those are my announcements. Let me pull up this video and we're gonna get started. All right, we're gonna start with the We Don't Stop performance video. Very excited for this. Here we go. Bow, wow, wow. Bow, wow, wow. KQ! I like how they're facing into each other on angles there. That's a very cool way to make a formation. I can't tell if this is too loud or not loud enough. I'm gonna turn it down just in case you can't hear me. Look at the little actors in them coming out. You don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. I forgot. This is why I like this song so much. What a sick transition. Ah. They are so much more confident in this. I love the little basketball toss on the scratch sound. Scratch, scratch. That was cool. There's a lot of freestyle in this. Oh, sick. Here we go. This was the part I was the most curious about. They're making Hunter turn so much in this. A little like Harlem Shake at the end. So many nods to classic hip-hop. And like Hip Hop 101 and just, I love it. Okay, what are my thoughts on the performance video? I really enjoy the color palette. That's something that it can go like either really well or not so well. And they did really well with having sort of the lighter flooring and then having them in generally darker colors. For me, as someone who's trying to watch the choreography critically and not just for enjoyment, that color palette helps to distinguish them from the background and the floor. It helps me actually see their movement. It helps me see what's happening. So right off the bat, that is a plus and a positive for this performance video. I did really love the editing in this video. I love how when they like pushed or pulled each other off screen, that's how they transitioned and did like a faded cut to the next location. That was so sick. That was so smart. That was a great way to use the choreography as an editing illusion. I love when videographers, editors can work with the dancers, work with the performers, and just sort of make everything cohesive in that way. I thought that was so sick. I really love the overall sound of this song, which is something I'd already talked about. I love when they whisper at me on a track. I love how many different sort of switch ups we get. We go from some like da 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 to really fast, like that hip 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 hip, like that's way faster than anything else. And then we get like really slow parts, then we just get some like bouncy groovy parts. Like there's just so many different vibes and general like flows in this song, and that makes the choreography overall so interesting. Another thing I've noticed sort of off the bat is groups where they're facing when they are in those groups, and the choreography of the soloist versus the group behind them. That's all been really interesting too. So we definitely have a lot to talk about. I am getting really tired, which is a me problem. So we're just gonna go right into the dance practice. I'm gonna watch it the first time, not take any notes. I probably won't talk after that. We'll just watch it again, and I'll either need to watch it and not take notes the second time, or we're gonna take notes the second time. I don't know yet. Here we go. Like here, the two groups were facing each other. The use of the stage is great too. I love how they go from 3 in the front to spread out so fast. Another Harlem Shake, so that's in there more than once. A little ripple there. Wow, 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 wow. That's almost a little breaking the fourth wall, where he sort of like grabs the other member. I'll try and explain that more later if I remember. So subtle, and it gives them a good break too. But it's still really impactful. Like, that makes the sound so much more sick. There was that ball part on the scratch scratch. That's a good level there. That's sort of a callback to that move he does from their debut. I had mentioned that when we watched the music video the first time. Interesting. It's hard for me to tell what parts of this repeats, if anything repeats. We're definitely going to be watching it again. So let's just watch it again, and then I'll take notes. Starting in 3, 2, 1. So they do have spins throughout, but as the dance progresses, it's just Hunter who does them. But that's the first time they do one all together. That little jumping is like another hip-hop Harlem Shake. The jump rope, though, I can't think of the term I want to use because my brain is not on. There's so many acting, like, breaking the fourth wall moments in this that I love. Obviously, that's a section that repeats, the clapping. They do a lot of hand motions for the lyrics. 24. They did another one for like around and don't stop. Don't stop. I don't remember. That's the third time they've interacted with each other too. Just two members. This part repeats. The ball scratch repeats. They've done that twice. I love how that was a bit of a fake out. This is like the biggest choreography of the whole dance, but it's, until that, Harlem Shake It was slower than everything else, which makes sense because that's the slower part of the song. Okay, we're gonna watch it one more time. I'm gonna take my notes. Then we're gonna discuss all the things that I've kind of already said, but we're gonna discuss them in detail. We don't stop. Xikers. Okay, are you ready? I don't know if I am. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
stop me.
Okay, good job. Generally, when I do dance analysis commentary, I like to look for a few different things. I like to look and see what styles they're doing predominantly. I like to look at formations, and I occasionally like to comment on accessibility for this dance to be turned into challenges online or shorts or reels or TikToks or things like that. This dance in general has so many pieces of hip hop culture and hip hop references throughout it. The kick section in the very beginning, kick and step and kick and step and kick and cross and kick and cross. All of that is different variations that we learn in like a fundamental hip hop class. If you've ever taken hip hop, chances are you've learned a variation of that. You might not learn the exact one they're doing, but you would be able to pick it up faster because it is a fundamental sort of just movement pattern that is taught throughout hip hop. The other one is the Harlem Shake. That's another sort of like classic fundamental movement. The jump rope is another one, as well as like the basketball motion that they make. Those are all things that I would say are very accessible to a wider array of dancers and audience members, because it's definitely part of like the core fundamental groups of movement you would learn if you're taking a very intro basic hip hop class. The thing I find so interesting about this choreography is something that they have sort of alluded to throughout their music videos, where they're sort of breaking the fourth wall by directly interacting with other members through the choreography. That's not to say that other groups and Xikers themselves haven't done this in previous choreography. I think what makes this so interesting and different is like the first time we get it is when a punch gets like intercepted by another dancer and everyone around them reacts to that and starts acting and has a reaction to that thing. The next time it happens, I don't know, I might be out of order, is when a dancer goes to like do something and he gets picked up and sort of pushed off stage, and that is sort of a way to reveal the next group. We have it a few more instances, like someone pretends to get punched in the chin and they're like rubbing it, and again everyone is reacting to this big thing that's happened. It gave them a lot of opportunities to act on stage and to not only perform through just like facial expressions, but to perform as a reaction to something in the choreography, which is a little more like Broadway-esque. It's not very K-pop. Like K-pop, I'm getting such a bad cramp, sorry. K-pop doesn't always have moments where you can sort of have a reaction on stage. It's all like you're doing the same choreography, everything is choreographed, so you know what's coming next, but they make it look like, oh my god, this thing just happened, like that. We're going off script a little bit, and it just keeps happening and happening throughout. And I think that's so fun and very much a part of their style overall as they develop as artists. I had already mentioned it, but they do have a lot of instances where their choreography directly reflects lyrics, and I'm sure there's more that I'm missing because I don't understand the Korean lyrics, obviously, not fluent in Korean, but there were parts where they went 24, did that hand sign, they would do hands up, or don't stop, like stuff like that, and around. So I think it's, again, in terms of accessibility, it makes the song sort of stick in people's brains easier if you can correlate two things together. So, like, if we're doing a movement that is the same intention as the lyric, then you're going to have that much of a deeper connection to the song because you're seeing something and hearing it at the same time, and it's going to get stuck in your brain even more than if they did just like a random movement on those words and didn't connect them to the choreography at all. I don't know, because I can't remember, if Xikers has ever done like costume choreography before. This was maybe the first time I've noticed it, where when we have the step and clap and turn and clap, that really slow section happening in the back. I have to lean back because I'm getting such a bad cramp. I'm so sorry. When we have that slow section happening in the back, the person in the forward is like pulling on their jacket, on their jacket. I can't even think. Let me take a break. Let me regroup. You'll have the person in the front sort of like grabbing their jacket and doing the choreography that way. I love when they incorporate different things into the choreography. So, like, if you're going to be wearing a cool costume, you might as well highlight it. And it is sort of also a hip hop nod to just like costuming and what you would wear and those sorts of things. So, I thought that was appropriate. They use the music in a lot of fun ways, like the scratch sound and the rewind sound is used a lot of times to sort of push into a new group and into a new reveal of what is happening next. And I really enjoyed that they did that. We also had some fun levels that were made. My favorite level is towards the end, where we had the two members who were doing like their duet part walk to the back as this group is already doing their thing. And then we have two people on their knees, and then you have like members squatting, and then you have the rest of them standing up. That's probably my favorite level, but they do make other levels throughout this where they're just like squatting down and getting lower to the ground. We had a few ripples and like pickup choreography. One of them was interesting where it was just like one member in the middle of the triangle pyramid. They started, and then everyone, it seems like, started after them, whereas normally it's like groups of 3 or 4 for that type of thing. So that was very interesting because it wasn't done in a way that is like how I'm used to seeing it. One of my favorite things about how they execute this choreography and the way it's intended to be danced is there are so many pauses and subtle suspensions in time where it's like they'll take a pause and then like fast forward almost, or they'll take a pause and then like kick and step, and like it's almost like their part of their body moves before the rest of their body, and it's like everything has to all of a sudden catch up. It's kind of hard to explain without telling you like exactly where it is, and my brain is starting to really shut off. So you'll have to go back and watch for the moments where they're paused or where they're like almost look like they're suspended, and then also all of the really subtle parts like the turn clap, those make everything else feel so much bigger and have so much more of an impact. And it also really reflects what's happening in the music. So I really enjoyed those sections in particular. We also have that fake out section where it's towards the very end where they're like bouncing 2, 3, 4, then they really 2, 3, 4, and on the 4 they like hit that pose. And then they step, they come forward, and normally it's step, hit. That is like a very normal choreographed part, but they go step, and sort of suspend themselves in midair, and that is the biggest fake out I've ever seen choreographed, because then the vibe totally changes and we sort of go into like a slow-mo for the ending, and then we have the biggest group movement for the slowest part of the song. Like, their energy is so big, the movements are so big and exaggerated, and yet the movement is actually slower than a lot of the choreography for the rest of this. So that was fascinating. I knew based on hearing the song the first time that I would love seeing this choreography and sort of being able to break it down. I wish I was feeling better so I could have said more intelligent things, but that's going to be good enough for today for this analysis. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. I will see you guys in my next video. Talk to you later. Bye!
I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.